Welcome. This is Zangler, the Tesla semi-advocate, and bringing you an exciting update from the Tesla semi-factory construction site. Today, the semi-factory has gone vertical, August 25th, 2024. As you can see, workers are working on the first three columns that have been installed and the very first beam connecting those two columns. And you'll notice that we had seen in the previous videos the things laying down on the bottom and the one installed support which holds those beams while they work on them. And they've got three beams, I should say three columns, one beam, and the steel has been assembled. This is the northwest corner, far northwest corner, the very first corner that they started digging any foundations. And they are now working both from the north to the south and from the west to the east. And it'd be interesting to see the progression. I imagine that this was filmed about 10:30 in the morning, and be interesting to see. I think I can fly again in 2 days, and be interesting to see how many posts and how many beams, and whether or not they simply go along the perimeter, or if they start ingressing into the inner part of the structure or of the future factory site, into those three posts that we're seeing right there. Like, could they be putting that one next in the middle to provide longitudinal support, or are they going to work along the exterior grades in both the southern and eastern direction? It seems we'll see. We'll find out pretty soon, and we can do a little guess as to how many of those are done by how many posts, how many columns have been installed by the next video, which should be about Wednesday at 8 or 10 in the morning. Just a fun contest to see how many we think. I'll think about it and maybe make a guess later. In any event, we're following along. Apologies for the somewhat erratic drone flying. I was so excited to see these columns erected that kind of had a little wild flying there for a moment. So while we were all waiting for the cranes to arrive, except for a few prescient viewers who called it, Tesla found a lean, more efficient way to erect the columns and the beams. And that is by using telehandlers. Apparently they're also known affectionately as zoom booms. So they used telehandlers versus very expensive cranes for this phase of the construction. I believe that the cranes will be used, but only for the third steel component, and that's the roof trusses. And time will tell. And we're flying along the southern perimeter of the building, and here is the little bit of jog that we saw in the rendering, which it looks like in the rendering it was a lot more of a outcropping of that building at the southwest corner. We're traveling along the southern perimeter, heading towards the east, and there's a big trench being dug here. Be interested to see what viewers think that could be for. Could be for utilities. And now we're taking a look over at this area. That building up there is sort of the subcontractor central. And if you notice in the background, the frame has been built for a tent structure, and quite a bit of room is being created up there for warehouse on wheels, or who knows, parking for employees. This is kind of a nice little flight along the southern border, and we'll take a left turn here and proceed along the eastern perimeter to the north. A lot of activity. These are the trusses, and most of the trusses were placed over here, out of the way, and because they'll be the last pieces installed, or at least they will be the last pieces installed on this end. There are trusses placed and stored and that were delivered on the north side that we're about to see. So now we're traveling north along the eastern perimeter, and we're going to make a left turn and head back to where all the action is. You can notice right there, conduit is being laid, electrical conduit, so that once the foundation is poured, the conduit will be there and they can run the electrical wires. And there's been a lot of that being done, and we may notice that as we fly to the west. You'll notice forms are being created there, put together there for additional concrete pours that are probably happening pretty soon. You can see a lot of the materials uncovered, and these forms will likely be poured. And the thing about it is the footings have already dried. So if you notice, they erected the columns just a few days after the wide concrete was poured. That's because these footings have already been cured and dried. And that's what I mean right here is they appear to be doing a wide apron. What we're seeing right now at the bottom is an open area that I believe will be the entrance and exit, where Tesla semis will leave the building after they've been constructed and head out to their customers to carry the freight of the world. What I think is happening, to look at the bigger picture, is Tesla has shown that they have come up with creative, lean, and cost-effective ways to preserve capital while building this semi-factory. And I think that this will be the most advanced construction technique, meaning the quality of construction and the expense will employ the learnings from Giga Berlin, Giga Texas, and Giga Shanghai. And those little projections exiting those posts we're familiar with are used to assemble or hang the concrete walls. And we have seen at Giga Texas where they'll put a wall up, they'll put a whole row of walls up, and then sometime later they'll come back, take the concrete down, and put one up that has openings for loading ramps. So it's very versatile technique that we have seen before. I want to thank you all for joining me on this adventure, and it's been a long time since we saw the warehouse on wheels first emptied and the transition from the expansion of the existing Gigafactory Nevada to this new separate building, and hope to continue to bring you coverage along the way. Thanks a lot.